Welcome back, pals and gals, to the third episode of PhoenixCast.
I really wish you'd stop pointing at me when you do that.
Joining me today is my pal,
You pal.
Ryan.
Yes, I am back for this third episode of PhoenixCast.
You don't have to sound so pained, you fucking...
I am going to be pained because we're talking about two Kingdom Hearts games today.
Oh, yes.
CoM and 358 over 2 days, or
358 days over 2, I believe, according to the manga.
we're going off the manga now, are we?
No.
We're not.
Though, for anybody who wants to have a vague idea of the story and have some great fun along the way, check out the Kingdom Hearts manga. It is top notch.
Yeah, I remember back in the day you used to have Kingdom Hearts 1.
I do.
They are
And
definitely different to the game.
They are.
Too different in my opinion.
They're more comedy. Yeah, they're great. They're good.
Doesn't Donald just constantly hit Sora with magic or something like that?
Something like that.
We are going so off topic.
We are. Okay, so to be back on track, today we're talking about Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 358 Days over 2.
Oh, the joys and joys of climbing a castle up and down. 'Cause
Up and down.
who does the up?
Riku?
They all do technically.
Fair point. Who does down then?
When you're farming for cards.
Oh no.
But we'll probably get into that.
No, we won't.
Oh, we might. So, where did we leave off then? The end of Kingdom Hearts 1?
End of Kingdom Hearts 1. Sora. He's having a good old jog after Pluto with Donald and Goofy.
Yep.
It's great cardio.
Great cardio.
Yeah, great cardio. He doesn't need it. He's quite a skinny boy, but whatever.
We will say here that this game was originally a Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah.
And it didn't look the best, but it did actually have cutscenes on it, to be fair to it.
I don't think I played far enough to find out that it had cutscenes.
No, to be honest, we didn't really touch the Game Boy Advance one.
No.
And we were young when it came out. We didn't know it was canon at the time.
No, we didn't. No.
So, yeah, no harm,
And it
no
was
foul.
quite rare. It was quite rare as well. And, you know, being in school and not having a job made it quite difficult to obtain.
Christmas?
No.
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 No. Christmas was for FF12.
Oh, yes, those days of FF12.
But, yes. So, Sora doing his cardio to transition into Rechain of Memories, which is where we're going to start.
Mm-hmm.
He continues to run along this path until it hits night time.
Yeah, they all decide to have a bit of a rest, if I'm...
At the
Correct.
crossroads. There was a man in a cloak who they met at the crossroads. Crossroads. Sorry, I'm quoting some bad English music.
Bad English music.
Yeah, carry on. I'm sure you can take it from it.
You hope you know I'm keeping this in.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah, it's down.
And I think we're both in agreement that the man in the black hood is... at this point, we don't know who that is, but we're in agreement it's Marluxia.
I believe it's Marluxia.
Yeah, and I believe he just kind of fades. He doesn't actually say anything, does he?
He does, but every time he speaks, he kind of appears a bit further away, leaving Sora to chase him.
Ah, so he's just playing a bit of cat and mouse.
Yeah, leading him into the main location of the game, which we will come to know is Castle Oblivion.
Where... what is the bloody line that I just... I can't... To find is to lose, and to lose is to find?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
that's
sounds
the
about
line he
right.
gives. And all it means is the more he progresses, the more he remembers.
Yeah,
All
he'll
the
lose
things.
the fake memories and regain the real important ones.
Yeah, and that's basically all Marluxia says to him at the start. He gives him a card, sends him on his way to the first world in the castle,
Yep,
and that first world is Traverse Town.
it is.
Except
All
not-
of these worlds, though, are actually inside a castle and not real.
No, they're not. No.
They're not real.
They're
Part of Sora's memories.
it's essentially KH1 again.
It is KH1 again, but from his memories, and anyone you meet in these worlds will act as though you've never met them.
So, you know, last game we mentioned that Squall said that he would never forget Sora.
And, yeah, he's forgot.
He's gone.
But weirdly, even though they don't remember who Sora is, well, their mind doesn't, but their heart does. So they feel like he's familiar. It's quite weird.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. That's what I'm putting that down to.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. The heart is too strong.
It always finds a way. But overall, there's nothing really important that happens in the worlds themselves. And
They just realise that they've forgotten all their magic by the first room, the first world. So yeah, that's all that really happens in Traverse Town. They realise no one remembers them and they can't remember much themselves.
Yeah, as the game progresses, Sora, Don, Goofy start to forget loads of stuff.
They start to... Sora, I believe, he starts to get more angry.
Yeah, he does. He doesn't.
He starts to get a bit more pissy with Donald.
He's not the child type, oh, let's go places type Sora.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't mention this in the first one, him and Donald did kind of clash a little. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, they did. It was just because Sora crash landed the ship because he wouldn't listen to Donald.
Yeah,
that was in Tarzan's world, Deep Jungle.
Yeah.
And then after that, Sora was kind of mean. He was like, I'm looking for my friends, and then just completely blanked Donald and Goofy for a while. I'm looking for my friends, Rika and KHRE.
Yeah. So as we progress, we constantly run into these cloaked figures who we soon learn to find out is
Organisation XIII.
Yep.
This is the first time we meet those in the story.
Not really, because if we count the unknown figure,
in the final mix version of Kingdom Hearts 1, there is a secret boss. We don't know what he is or who he is, but I believe now would be a good time to mention he pretty much is the leader of the organisation.
Yeah.
Who we will come to find out more about in Kingdom Hearts 358.
Oh yeah, no,
actually.
yeah, 358, yeah.
358, we will mention a little bit more about him.
And we will go into that after this, but these two games actually do kind of...
They happen about the same time.
Yeah.
Canonically.
Nice word.
Yeah.
It completely threw me off, that word, did it, actually? So we'll continue on, and we run into, I believe, the first organisation member we actually see in the flesh is...
Larxene or Axel?
I believe it's Axel. He comes out, he basically throws the fire card at you.
Yeah, he says he's there to test Sora to make sure he's ready to continue through the castle.
Yeah, you beat him up. I think he's got about like a bar and a half. It's not too much.
Yeah.
We haven't actually mentioned the main gameplay
The
point.
battle system in Chain of Memories is card-based, and you essentially play cards with a value, and to hit a person, you have to beat their card's value to break their card. But if it's the same number, there's no card jewels as Sora, is there? That's Riku.
I believe it's the same number, it just breaks it. It doesn't...
Yeah, same number will break. It breaks the card of the person who played it first.
Yeah.
So if they play it first mid-attack and you use it, it breaks their card.
And then if you press triangle on 3 different cards, bring them together, you can either do a combo that has a higher
slight
number, or a slight, which is essentially the same abilities as KH1. So like Ragnarok. Thank you.
Which we've never really mentioned about KH1 either. We didn't go into abilities and names of moves.
Yeah, don't really need to. I believe these are all the little snippets you'll get yourself if you play them.
Yeah. I mean, there's other YouTube videos out there if you want to see things, but if you just want the story, then
well, here you are.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So yeah, we got the fire car. We fought Axel. I keep going to call him a different name,
but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. And as we progress through each different world, so we got like Agrabah.
Agrabah.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Monstro is another.
Monstro. We don't go back to Deep Jungle in this one.
No.
We do go to Olympus Coliseum.
I believe the Deep Jungle's to do with rights issues, correct?
Yeah, with rights problems. That's why we haven't had that back since.
No, we haven't had friend Tarzan back in a long time.
No.
Oh, sad days, man.
Where else do we go in that game? Have we mentioned Halloween Town?
We mentioned Atlantica?
Yeah.
Yep, Halloween Town.
Halloween Town we do go to.
There is a floor, I think it's the top floor, which is just Castle Oblivion.
Doing a floor of just that.
Yeah.
Which...
Hollow Bastion is one.
Hollow Bastion, yeah, of course.
I really wish we'd kept count because I've kind of lost the track of every single one we said.
Yeah, so that's the gist of it anyway. You go to a fair few worlds. Each floor is a different world. You have 100 Acre Wood, which is the same as Kingdom Hearts 1. It's just mini games, nothing else.
Again,
nothing important, no story related things.
Yep.
But with this game, none of it's really story related until you finish a floor and learn something new about the organisation.
Yeah, I don't think it's every single floor. Sometimes it's like every few floors.
Yeah.
You do fight them quite a few times actually.
Yeah, you fight. I believe the first proper fight you have is Larxene.
The fight will give you the trouble. But
So Larxene's the only female member
yeah.
of Organisation 13.
Well, technically no, but we'll get into that in 358.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, okay. I get where you're going with that.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, officially she is the only female member. Maybe at that point, I'm not sure how they overlap the two games, but yeah, we'll get into that as he says.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that later.
Yep.
So, the more people you fight, you get more cards for new worlds. You get new card spells as well. Like
Yeah.
Larxene, I believe, would be where you first get Thunder.
Yeah, definitely. Vexen, I believe you get Blizzard.
Blizzard would be Vexen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vexen, each person has a different kind of weapon. So, Axel has chakrams.
Yeah.
Larxene has like little throwing knives.
Yeah, throwing daggers.
Vexen has a big shield.
Yeah, Marluxia has a scythe.
Marluxia has a scythe. He's the leader of this.
Zexion
The
has
Castle
a book.
Oblivion side of Organisation 13.
Yeah, Zexion has a book.
Zexion has a book.
Oh,
Lexaeus has
that's
like
one.
a big sword club thing.
It's more of a club shaped into a sword.
It's quite
There's a
weird.
part with Riku, probably one of my favourite parts of the whole game, really, but just clobbering with it. And obviously he doesn't get chopped in half, he just kind of gets smashed into a wall.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
I believe that's all of them? For
Yeah,
now?
that's all the people in Castle Oblivion.
Yeah. Obviously it's called Organisation 13 because there are 13 members.
There are more members than that, but they're mostly going to be covered in 358 days over 2.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah.
So essentially what they're doing is, as said in the beginning, making Sora lose things to gain things.
The overall plot, I believe, is Marluxia wants to turn Sora into a puppet where he can use him to fight the other organisation members and overthrow them.
Mm-hmm. So these are a rebellion, really, within the organisation,
Yeah.
led by Marluxia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Axel was sent to the castle
By
As
the official leader, which
Yeah.
is
Xemnas.
Xemnas being the other half of the Heartless Ansem, who we saw in Kingdom Hearts 1, who
Yep.
took over Riku's body.
Yes. Yeah. Right now we'll just call them what they are, which is nobodies.
They are nobodies. Nobodies are what I just said, the other half of the Heartless. So when a person falls to darkness, there will be a Heartless created
Yep.
and a nobody created.
Uh-huh.
Depending on how strong that person is, depends on if they retain their physical form on either side.
Yep.
So a weak person will become a shadow
Mhm.
or a dusk. Well, they'll become both, but a shadow and a dusk.
Yeah.
Or they could become like Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Xemnas.
Yeah.
So two sides of the same coin. Really confusing part about Sora is the fact that he's supposed to have a really strong heart and yet became a shadow when you turn to a Heartless.
That is a very...
I've never understood that.
that's
Because Riku makes anti-Sora. Wouldn't he become anti-Sora?
you know what? I've actually never thought of it. And you do actually make a good point about that.
Never understood that. I mean, I suppose there's nowhere to say the strength of your heart changes what you become. It's just kind of seems that way from what happens.
Is it fair to say that because he stabbed himself with the Keyblade, it might have damaged it a bit?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But I'm also going to put that down to they didn't think the series would go on this
I'm
long.
going to put it through to even Nomura doesn't know. I mean, he recently admitted in an interview he can't really remember what's going on in the story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said, I don't know who's met who or what's happened.
Oh, wow.
That's why he's releasing the recap videos, to remind himself.
That's really silly.
It's very worrying.
Wow. Here's hoping we get something real good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, hopefully there's not too many plot points that he forgets exist and doesn't tie up.
Oh my god.
But
You've worried me now.
yeah. But that's for another day. Yeah, so we've got Sora going through the castle,
Mm-hmm.
and they're slowly making him forget about his friend KHRE.
Yeah,
And
one of the main
replacing-
points
Yep.
of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah, main point of Kingdom Hearts 1, and they're making him replace that memory with a new girl called Namine. Who
Yeah.
we don't know anything about for this game.
The only thing really is that you could sort of put a likeness to her with KHRE in that they kind of look similar.
Mm-hmm.
Except
Which-
Namine has long blonde hair and
And a quite short white dress.
Yeah. But, you know, the argument could be made that KHRE's outfit wasn't the best either in KH1. And
No.
KH2, really.
No, they generally give girls quite short skirts.
Yeah.
It's quite weird, really. I've never thought
I
about
always
it.
just put that down to Japan. Now, that's not me stereotyping, but it does seem to be, like,
Japanese games, or rather otaku culture in general, is really sexually predisposed. Is that the word I'm looking for?
In what way? What do you mean?
So, like, a lot of the time they will use more revealing clothes on their female characters.
But I don't think they view it as, like, our society, or not society, but, like,
I think because
culture, sorry.
We'd have to go into Japanese culture for that kind of thing, really. But it sells.
It
better
sells.
over there. That's pretty much what it is.
Alright, fair enough. So, we've learnt that Nominee is... Well, we haven't learnt, sorry. Nominee is the reason Sora keeps losing his memories, is they constantly call her a witch in that game.
They do call her a witch. Nominee has been captured by Marluxia.
Yep.
Or was she captured by Xemnas and sent to Castle Oblivion? I'm not 100% sure on that.
I don't know. I don't think
But
they
she's
really
been
said.
captured by the organisation, really.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. And they're forcing her to use her magical powers to rewrite Sora's memory to suit themselves.
Yeah. Like I mentioned before, just turn him into a weapon to beat the
To
other
go
organisation.
against the main branch of the organisation.
Essentially just for the Keyblade.
Yeah.
And the Keyblade wielder.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the further it goes on, the more he forgets about KHRE, the more he really believes that he's there purely to save Nominee.
Yeah.
And we're coming close to the end of Sora's story, really.
Yeah, it's funny because you'd think a lot would happen. The only thing we really learn is that at some point you fight Vexen again, and this is in a new world actually, Twilight Town.
Twilight Town,
which in the series, unless you played 2 before Chain of Memories, you would have never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
A new world, we don't know anything about it, and Vexen is there. You fight Vexen, and then after beating Vexen, you've weakened him.
Mm-hmm.
Out of nowhere come these 2 chakrams full of fire. Look around, you see Axel there, you know, doing his normal jobs. Constantly complaining about having to do his jobs, because I would put him down as an assassin, wouldn't you?
He's pretty much the assassin of the main branch of Organisation XIII, but not by choice. It doesn't seem like he wants to do it.
No, but they know he'll do it, just because.
We'll get more onto Axel's character in 358.
I feel like we could do Axel's character over the course of all these videos. He always plays a part.
He has a lot of character development.
The only one he doesn't have is in 1.
He's not in 1, but after that point,
no,
he's
does,
in every game.
He does become very
he is
essential.
actually in every game apart from 0.2.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are correct about that actually. And if you want to be more technical, Unchained as well. He's not. I don't think he's in that
yet.
But yeah, obviously.
We'll see.
We'll see how that goes when we finally get the full story of Unchained.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so he kills Vexen.
Mm-hmm.
He does it in a really cool way. It's one of the best cutscenes in the game. I believe he just snaps his fingers and says goodbye.
Yep.
Yeah,
he
and
does.
then Vexen bursts to flames.
Mm-hmm.
And then we learn that
he's ironic him being ice to get taken out by the flames.
Oh yeah. I've never really thought about that.
No, nor have I until right now.
Around about then we learn that Axel has been sent there really to
dismantle spy and dismantle the rogue members.
Yeah, and learn which one are rogue, which one are just there for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we had to think about it, I think Zexion and Lexaeus weren't actually like a part of Marluxia's thing. They were kind of doing their own thing.
Zexion was.
Yeah.
He was in on that meeting with Larxene that happened.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I think Lexaeus was there for Zexion. He seemed like a bodyguard, really. More than like, oh, I want to be here. It was more like, oh, where Zexion goes, I'll go.
Could be.
So, yeah, and then eventually we get to the top. We go through all this like, oh, Sora hates his friend. You do a part where
they all believe maybe Nominee. Donald and Goofy believe maybe Nominee isn't what you think she is.
Yep.
And Sora gets very offended by this thought, and kind of swears them off to go save Nominee on his own.
He also yells at Jiminy Cricket as well.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he like pops out. He's like, Sora, that wasn't very nice. He's like, be quiet.
Oh, yeah.
And just, shuts him down, really. We never even mentioned Jiminy Cricket in KH1.
Jiminy Cricket keeps track of their journey and puts it all down in his journal. So usually if you want to get a platinum trophy, do everything in the journal, all the little missions and mini games, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Another thing we forgot to mention in Sora's story is part way up the tower / castle, you fight a dark replica of Riku.
Oh yes, you do. Yeah.
Vexen,
Repliku, as he's been
Repliku
come
as
to know.
people tend to call him, yeah. Vexen has created a shell of Riku and gave it a fake heart.
Yeah.
Given it a fake heart. And filled it with the same memories as Sora that his promise to Naminé was to protect her.
Yeah. So KHRE doesn't exist to him either, really.
KHRE doesn't exist to Sora or to Repliku.
Repliku.
So Sora and Repliku have been given these little Powerpoo charms.
Yes. Yeah.
That was given to them by Naminé.
Yeah, yeah, because that replaces the charm that
KHRE
gave him.
The
Yeah.
Thalassa shells or whatever they're called.
And it actually changes their physical appearance. It's almost like the memory was tied to the manifestation of it. It's really weird. I've never quite understood that either.
I have no idea.
It completely disappears, and then obviously we'll get to it. But near the end of the game, it changes back. And obviously, it does.
Yeah, and they both believe their memory's right, so they fight, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And is it Sora at the end, the final time? Because you fight him 3 times.
Oh my god, the third time.
The third time, don't you break his heart? Or what he had of his heart, whatever it was.
I think you beat him. He gets all about it, and
you
then
break him, and
Naminé does something that breaks him.
Naminé breaks his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
she gave him a heart in the first place, didn't she?
I believe so. And then he just collapses. We do go to Destiny Islands as well. That's one of the places.
Yeah, right before Castle Oblivion.
Yeah.
The final floor. One floor before the end. Yeah, we go to Destiny Islands.
Yeah, it's a nice place to level up with a bit of Mega Flare as well.
Just a bit.
If you're going for the level 99 trophy. And that and the cards, just... Why, Square? Why you gotta be mean?
It's not too bad.
Really?
I don't mind it so much once you get used to it. You just gotta get in the swing of things.
The swing.
The swing of things.
When are you going to do it on PS4?
As soon as I finish KH1. Get more platinum.
Alright.
Move on to chain.
I'll time you.
Fuck.
You got 10 days.
Fuck you.
10 days.
No.
10 days when you complete one.
No. Got a job. I got time.
Alright, fair enough.
10 weekend days.
Weekend days.
Yeah. Not including days where we record this. So 10 weeks.
10 weeks then, yeah? We're set on 10 weeks?
Yeah, 10 weeks.
Okay, cool. We've done Destiny Islands.
Yeah.
Finished all that. He gets to the Castle Oblivion floor.
And that's when Naminé, after you beat Riku the third time, Naminé admits to Sora what she's been doing.
Yep.
And that's when you go on your little quest through the final floor to find Marluxia.
You find Axel and Marluxia fighting.
Yeah.
Because Axel is trying to kill Marluxia, obviously for the reasons we've specified before.
Found out that Marluxia is indeed the leader of the rebel organisation.
Yep.
So Axel's trying to beat him up, have his way with him. And
have his way.
Yeah, have his way.
Okay.
I didn't say what his way was. That's your mind.
That's my mind.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, so we go and we spank Marluxia.
Repeat that, please.
We beat Marluxia.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I heard you right the first time.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So we finally beat Marluxia. We get to the end of the game. Marluxia just fades off like all the other organisation members did. We do actually kill Larxene after Repliku as well.
Yeah, we do beat Larxene.
If you are going to do that, make sure you run back and save, because it's 2 boss battles, one after the other.
One after another, and if you lose one, you've got to do them both again.
Yeah, it made me stop playing for ages on the PS3.
It is a nightmare.
A nightmare.
So, yeah, we do this, and then Naminé gives Sora the option to fix his memories.
Yep.
But tells him that he's going to be stuck in a pod for a year, and everyone will forget about him for that year.
Yeah, I think restoring the KH1 memories back.
Because of her power, it turns out Naminé can change the memories of anybody tied to Sora's heart.
Yeah.
And that includes anyone he's met over all of his journeys. So, the problem being, to reset the memories that have been changed in him, she needs to change the memories of everyone connected to him and make them all forget him for that year. to rearrange his memories in his mind, heart, whatever.
I know what the story is, but I really lost half of that halfway through, to be honest. I know what you mean.
Okay, let me simplify, because if you don't get it, who else is going to get it?
no, you made sense. I mean, it makes more sense if you play it yourself, but like...
Yeah, so Sora's heart is connected to other hearts. She can change the memories in Sora's heart, but to do so, everyone else's heart needs to forget about Sora for that year.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I hope that makes sense.
I'm with you. I'm with you now. And so that's the end of Sora's part, apart from the fact that he does say to Nominee, I'll remember you, I'll never forget you. And then QKH2,
He forgot.
He forgets.
Yeah.
But, you know, when
It's
don't
not
we
his
forget?
fault. Not his fault.
Well, no, but you had to forget the Castle Oblivion
Just to
part.
give a tiny little glimpse of the start of Kingdom Hearts 2, when Sora wakes up, he opens the journal to see nothing but the words "Thank Nominee,"
Yeah.
and he has no idea what they mean.
No one does.
So yeah, that's all you're getting from KH2 in this episode.
But also, while Sora's story's going on in Castle Oblivion, we've got Riku, who has been travelling the darkness since KH1. Comes
He's found Castle Oblivion.
Yeah, I feel like he just floats into it. I believe the
Well,
start
he's in the
is
basement floors, like right at the bottom of the basement.
Yeah, but the start of the game,
he wakes up.
He wakes up in it. Yeah, he just sort of.
But we do see a cutscene of him walking there with Mickey in organisation coats.
That's the end.
No, it's not.
It is the end.
Okay, that's the end. My bad.
All right, we've skipped very far there, but don't worry, we'll go over.
We're
Riku's.
backtracking.
Riku's is very, very quick. It's a case of he goes in, he's fighting the darkness inside himself. Ansem is still inside of him.
Ansem is part of him still.
Yeah.
So his darkness is being fed on by Ansem.
The whole time he's just fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, figuring out how he can beat it. Actually, fun fact, in Hollow Bastion, which is the first floor, it has a different story completely where it's Belle and Beast and Maleficent, and they're all like fighting each other as they do. And Maleficent actually kills Belle, and her heart like gets like knocked out of her essentially, because she aims for Beast, and Belle jumps in the way.
Yeah, I remember now.
But then she does come back at the end. Everything's fine, but obviously it doesn't matter.
Disney.
It's just an interesting story bit, really. And also we see Riku's room in Hollow Bastion as well.
We did see that in
sleeps.
1.5. In one final mix.
Do we?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. There's a cutscene where he says, "Well, at least they gave you a room." You do. I'm 99% sure you see his room in one.
Oh, all right.
Final mix though.
Oh, I always thought
when you see him in Hollow Bastion, I think it's right after Traverse Town for the second time. I think you see it there.
Oh, okay.
But don't quote me on it. Like, feel free to tell me I'm wrong if anybody knows otherwise.
Yeah, please do that. And always say I'm right. Just because I want to be right and you be wrong. So we blast through the game. The good thing about Riku's story as well is it gives you preset cards per world.
Yeah, that you don't have to build your own deck, which is another downside to Sora's, because it's a lot of RNG on what cards will drop. So you could get a 1 card, which is essentially useless if you don't stack it.
Yeah, I know.
So you want to try and get anywhere between 7 to 9 on all your cards and have a few 0 cards in there, because what we didn't say about the battle system, 0 cards break everything.
Yeah, and Riku's last deck in the top floor that he goes to, which is floor 1 or 0, I can't remember which one that is.
I think it's 1.
I think it's 1, but then he just goes to 0 and just leaves the castle anyway. I think the top floor he has like 9s and 0s and a few 4 or 5s in there. And his is very good at that.
But it's okay though, because you just want to activate darkness mode and use warp.
Which he gets in probably the best cutscene in the game for me is he fights Lexaeus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a great
And
cutscene.
then Lexaeus, he's beating Lexaeus and he gets a bit cocky and he goes to jump at him with what did we say?
Windblade.
Windblade, that's the one. And Lexaeus just bats him away, smashes him up against the ceiling and smacks the floor. You think he's done and out, and then his darkness sort of takes over.
His darkness takes over. He allows Ansem into his heart to use his power.
Just for that second, yeah.
Utterly destroys Lexaeus.
Yeah, in one swipe, he just takes him out.
Yeah.
And I think it's the famous line where he's like, too slow. And then just the cutscene ends there. And then Riku forces him back out again. But then from then on, you can turn into darkness mode, and it makes
whenever you want. Yeah.
Does make the game a bit easier.
It's just about breaking cards, isn't it? Every time you break cards, your darkness meter fills until you get enough DP.
Yeah, and then you get
points.
to 30 and then it stays there.
Yeah.
And then later on, we do come across a little king that you
King
mentioned.
Mickey, but he's not actually there.
No, he's trying to break his way in.
projecting his heart to you.
Yeah.
So that you can see him.
There's an ability Mickey has and no one else has.
No, I know. It's quite weird.
What,
do they? No one else.
Projecting hearts.
Yeah, like being able to see them just from like their.
No. No.
Just Mickey.
It's got to be just Mickey. I've never seen anyone else do it.
I'm trying to think, but I can't.
Well, not to drop a name, but a certain someone who's been in the dark realm for all those years never did it. So
yeah, fair point.
Fair point, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mickey's just constantly trying to break through. He's trying to get to Riku.
Yeah, he's trying to help him out.
Trying to help him out, and he does eventually get there. And Riku.
Right near the end.
Yeah, it's I think it's the floor before the end. He gets there, and then Mickey's card becomes like a thing you can pick up during the game.
Which heals you. It's the only way to heal in Riku's story.
Oh my god.
Stacking Mickey cards heals you more. Also stuns enemies.
Yes.
When you use it.
Yeah, it does. And and then we get to the end, and the last boss is just Ansem, really.
Yeah, you finally beat Ansem out of your heart.
Oh, we do kill Zexion as well.
Riku kills Zexion.
Yeah.
Oh,
He kills him on the Destiny Islands.
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
Pretends to be Sora and tries to like turn him.
Yeah.
And I think he sees through it. Yeah, he sees through it and kills him.
You do fight Replica as Riku once. Or twice.
Yes, you do, and he runs away.
Yeah.
And then I believe Vexen changes him so that he fights Sora without any emotions.
Memories.
Yeah, because I think he starts to question it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then
after he meets Riku, because he's determined to think he's the real one. Replica is. Yeah.
Okay. And then we get to the end. Beat Ansem, and I think Riku believes he's beat his darkness, but he knows it's still there.
It's still in his heart, but he's managed to suppress it.
Suppress it for now.
I think so.
And then eventually he'll wear a blindfold, which we'll learn about more later as well.
Yeah. 358.
Oh, we haven't even mentioned one of them. What parts he meets Diz?
He meets Diz in...
Yeah, he meets Diz.
Diz
yeah.
being Darkness in Zero is what that stands for.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He makes the name up. This is in an Ansem report from Birth by Sleep, I think.
Oh, really?
I'm not 100% on which game it's from, but it is from an Ansem report. After all of his research is stolen, this will be explained later, but I'll brush over it.
Yep.
He is pretty upset that his research has been used essentially for evil and created the Heartless and awoken the darkness in people's hearts. And so he gets... I think he goes... does he go to the Dark Realm? I think he might go
He's all over the place,
I think he goes to the Dark Realm and becomes Darkness in Zero. And uses that name as his kind of period of revenge.
Yeah.
All he wants, he's living for revenge against Xehanort.
Yeah,
his apprentice.
Well, we are getting
we'll get
so
to that.
far ahead at this point.
We'll go back to that.
Yeah.
We'll go into
So
a
he
lot
does
more
meet
detail.
Diz. Diz is just constantly saying to him, well, you can't be light or dark, you gotta be one or the other to
Do we explain
Riku.
who Diz is? We don't.
I mean, you kind of just
KHRE.
said, to be honest.
Sort of, but...
But we'll leave that there.
We'll explain it when it comes up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Diz just says to Riku, nobody can't grow a heart, it's ridiculous. He doesn't believe most things. He's just so angry and wants revenge, as you mentioned. He can't see left or right. Wait, he does. Sorry, he can see left or right. He just can't see the middle road. And I think you get what I'm quoting there.
We will shed a bit of light on that.
Yeah.
At the end.
He believes that you can either be light or dark. You can't be both.
You can.
Essentially, what Riku does become at the end of his journey.
The road to dawn.
Yeah.
So
Which is the line he uses at the end.
Yep.
Because I believe Diz gives him two lines.
options.
Yeah. Left or right. Light or dark.
But we'll get to this.
Oh, I feel like we're there. What else more is there to mention in Riku's
What happens
story?
when Riku gets to the end?
He beats Ansem, suppresses his darkness, and then
Yeah, you're right.
he wears the organisation hoods.
Yeah, that's where we got to. So Mickey's with him now. They're both wearing organisation cloaks because they shield you from... is it from the organisation themselves?
Yeah, it makes them harder to detect.
Yeah, you can't be detected.
But the problem with the hoods, I've always thought, is that if 13 of them are wearing dark hoods, and then there's 2 more, and they're called Organisation 13, isn't that a bit?
Well, they're not all there at the same time. They've killed a load of them.
Oh yeah, true. How many do we kill?
We lost everyone from Castle Oblivion apart from Axel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. Oh, we cut them in half pretty much.
Yep. So they're walking back through the same field that Sora was running through at the end of KH1.
Yeah, and I believe Nominate does explain.
Nominate explains to Riku what's happened and gives him the option to go in, and she offers to help him with his darkness if he goes in a pod for a year, but he refuses, saying that's not enough time. Unlike Sora, I can't afford to sleep on the job. Pretty much.
I feel like he actually was like trying to get rid of the organisation before Sora wakes, or trying to make it safe for him.
He said he's got things to do to help Sora out.
Yeah, he wants to
which we will get into in the next game, because that's when he's doing all of this.
Oh yeah, he's much older at that point.
So running through this field, this is the end of Rechain before we go into 358. Running through the field, or walking with Mickey, and they meet Diz at a crossroads.
Yep.
And Diz says, "Which road will you take, Riku? Will you walk the path of darkness, or take the road to light?"
He does give better wordings, like road to everlasting dark or something like that.
I don't know the exact wording.
Neither do I.
But Riku says, "I'm not taking either. I'm going to take my own path, the road to dawn."
Can I kind of try and quote that, because I love that ending. I remember actually sending you a text after I finished it the first time. I was like, "Dude, you gotta play Riku's," and you were like, "Really?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, just for that ending scene, because that ending scene was amazing." He just says all the lines, and he goes, "Neither path suits me. I prefer the middle road." And then I believe Diz says something along the lines of the road to never-ending twilight or something like that. And then Riku just turns and goes, "No, the road to dawn." And then obviously Simple and Clean plays, credits play.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then we do actually get a scene in the credits where Riku and Mickey, we don't know this at the time, but they're walking through Hollow Bastion. And Riku kind of like, he kind of clutches his heart and like falls down a little bit. As if to say like, "Oh crap, the darkness is sort of coming back."
I don't remember that scene at all.
And then he just carries on. It does happen, trust me. And and then Mickey's a bit worried. And then eventually they go off on their separate ways as well. And I believe we're done with Chain now.
That is Rechain of Memories.
Yep.
The next game being 358 Days over 2.
Now,
which you'll have to bear with me, because I have played a minimal amount of this game, and all I know knowledge-wise is the movie on 1.5.
I'm the same, to be honest. I played about 200 days.
As much as I wanted to enjoy the game, being a massive Kingdom Hearts fan, I couldn't get used to the deck system. Oh, it's not the deck system, it's the panel system, I believe. Like you've got to have, it's like playing Tetris just to level up.
Yeah, I do remember it. I know Recoded kind of did it a little better.
It's really slow as well, the story.
Oh
in
my
the actual
God.
game, because it's like playing really repetitive. Go do this mission with this organisation member, go do this mission, and not a lot of story happens. It's quite a lot like the phone game Unchained Key. A lot of crap to get to the interesting stuff.
Yeah. At least now in Unchained they've updated it so that it goes movie to movie.
Story. Yeah, just
in case you just want to skip.
But yeah,
all
okay.
that.
Right. We digress.
We digress.
Let's go on to 358 Days over 2.
Now, I don't want to spend too long on this, like they spend so long on telling you the whole mission statements throughout the whole game.
Oh yeah. So we'll get to the key points. So what you need to know.
We start off with a boy called
a new boy. We have never met this character before.
Nope.
And his name?
Roxas.
Yep, everybody loves Roxas.
In case anyone needs to know, that is Sora's nobody.
From when he became a Heartless.
Yeah, when he stabbed himself with the Keyblade.
Yep.
And
which is what I do not understand. He became a shadow, yet still made a person nobody.
I know we went over this earlier in the podcast, but I think we both agreed that
it doesn't make sense.
It's just Nomura not thinking ahead too far.
Yeah.
I want to put down that as
must have been something like that.
But we have actually seen Roxas once before.
Kingdom Hearts 2 released before 358 over 2 days.
I wasn't talking about that, but you are correct in that as well.
So Roxas is at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, and no one knows who he is, and his character isn't really explained until this game.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be completely talking about Roxas now,
But
basically.
what I want to say is, in the Kingdom Hearts 1 secret movie, when we were talking about it, there's a kid in the hood with 2 Keyblades.
That kid in the hood
is Roxas.
is Roxas.
Yeah.
He's Roxas.
And there's a reason why he can wield 2 Keyblades as well.
And a reason why he's fighting Riku.
Yeah. That is basically the end of this game.
Yeah.
Riku, I believe, is the last boss of the game.
I don't know. I've never got to the end.
I've never got to the end, but I know I think I've watched a playthrough of it, and I believe you do fight Riku at the end.
Ironically, my housemate is currently listening to Kingdom Hearts music.
Oh, is he? What song is
Yeah,
it?
he is. Can you not?
Oh, yeah.
Is that Darkness of the Unknown?
I think it is, yeah.
Brilliant. Great song.
Kind of makes the backing track seem like crap now. So yeah, we start off with Roxas. Every organisation member name has an X in it.
An X. And their human name is anagrammed, and then they add an X.
Yeah.
So Roxas would be Sora with an X rearranged,
Mm-hmm.
and put that in there.
Yep.
You have the leader of the leader of the organisation.
Yep.
Xemnas.
Yep.
Ansem with an X.
Yep. I mean, we won't go into any of the others.
The other ones we will find out in Birth by Sleep.
I will go over Axel's just because it's an easier one to remember, which is Lee.
Lee, which
Yep.
is very important story-wise later on.
Yeah, definitely.
But for now, we'll keep calling him
So
Axel.
just in case, I know
If he slips up and calls him Lee, because apparently he can't help himself.
I'm training myself to say Lee. All right. That's all. That's all they need to
He
know.
will be called Lee later on.
That's all they need to know.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Lee, Axel. Yeah, there's a lot of other people, obviously. So no, we're not in Castle Oblivion anymore. By
Nope.
the way, we're in the official Organisation 13 headquarters,
The world that never was.
the world that never was. Which is, doesn't it have a name? The castle. Does the castle have a name? I can't really remember.
I don't think it does, unless it's one of those where you're in the area and then you press the main menu and it tells you what area you're in. But other than
Yeah,
that, I
maybe.
can't think of what the castle's name is.
No, nor me.
No. So the story is just mission after mission after mission, just killing Heartless.
Just kill Heartless. So the organisation's goal at this point, as far as we know, is to create a Kingdom Hearts to give all the nobodies hearts again.
Yeah.
Because a heart is absorbed to darkness, which creates a Heartless. Which, weirdly, the heart is what creates the Heartless. Don't get that part. The nobody is the husk that's left afterwards. So the nobody has no heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Xemnas has created the organisation to be people to kill Heartless for them.
Yep.
Only the Keyblade can release hearts from the Heartless to go to Kingdom Hearts to create an artificial Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
We'll explain how to create a true Kingdom Hearts in a different podcast.
Yeah.
Because that's
I'm to be
explained.
honest, I'm not even too sure about that one.
I am. I've read some of the lore.
I look forward
about
to it then.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
all the Kingdom Hearts created by hearts, like a lot of hearts from Heartless, is artificial. They're not real.
They're fair to say they've been collecting them since 1. Would you say?
Yeah, pretty much.
Would make
because
sense when
Sora killing them still releasing hearts.
Yep.
They're still all returning to Kingdom Hearts.
it's made more evidently clear in 358 and 2
Yeah.
because when you kill the Heartless, you do actually see the heart come out.
Yeah.
Which is
do
actually
in
very
one.
nice.
You do in one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's a nice design choice anyway.
Yeah. It's
I like
great.
that they did that. As we said, we meet all the organisation members now.
The remaining ones.
Yeah, so we got
So in World Never Was, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got the leader Ansem.
Xemnas.
Xemnas. Sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
The leader Xemnas.
Oh, you talk about me messing up. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. All right.
So Xemnas,
Xemnas. We have Demix,
Zigbar.
Zigbar, Zaldin,
Oh god, what's his name? Syx.
Syx, Lee's ex-best friend.
Yep. They
Axel's.
were very close before they came nobodies.
Yep. Roxas,
Roxas.
which is member 13.
Yep. And then the big thing about this game.
Whoa.
Oh,
It's
hold
not all
on.
of them, is it?
Syx.
Zigbar, Zaldin, Syx. Okay, it might be.
We'll probably remember as we go on.
I think it is. It is all of them.
Yep. And the big part about this game, one of the selling points, is that there was a 14th member.
created by the organisation, so they're not actually real.
But we don't know she's created at that point.
We don't.
But this is the second girl of the organisation I was
Her
on
name
about.
is Shion.
Now, you told me about this. Her name is Oni, meaning demon or devil.
That's the only way I can make sense of it,
It would make sense.
because Oni, yeah, as you say, demon, devil.
Yeah,
Sort
and
of thing.
we do learn about her origin as we progress through the game.
Yeah, but she was created by the organisation as an artificial Keyblade wielder
Yeah.
to help Roxas collect hearts.
And then, so going into the story, we're doing missions.
Something I should mention actually before we continue.
Go on.
Roxas can wield the Keyblade.
Yep.
Because he's Sora's nobody.
Yep.
We'll explain later on why he can wield too.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, and
Fair enough.
Shion also can wield the Keyblade. Make of that what you will, but we'll give you the answers eventually.
And so we're progressing through missions. Axel and Roxas start to bond. They start to become friends.
They do, yeah.
Now, bearing in mind, a nobody's not meant to feel anything.
Yeah, the heart has all the emotion of a person. So
Yeah.
they shouldn't feel anything without a heart.
Yeah.
So this is where Axel starts to realise, I think, that Xemnas doesn't seem to be telling them the truth about having no heart.
I know it's explained later, and I'm fairly certain I'm right in saying this. I don't think he knew it was going to happen. What happens to the most of the organisation members in terms of them growing emotions, essentially.
Yeah, no.
No, he doesn't realise that that's just a byproduct of what happens if you're so strong enough to make a nobody.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a case of waiting it out.
Waiting it out.
So
I think you might. Do you think because the rest of the organisation must have had heartlesses,
yeah,
but you never meet them?
imagine they were like the
They could just be shadows.
imagine they were like the stealth sneaks or the armor from King Hearts 1 and
Trinity
all that.
armor and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god, Oogie Boogie. Could you
This new
imagine?
villain? He's not even a heartless.
But could you imagine if that was like Zigbar's Heartless just this whole time?
Oh god.
That
Well,
would...
it'd be Luxord's, wouldn't it? Because he's a gambler. He throws dice.
Oh yeah.
Luxord.
Oh my
That's another
god.
organisation member.
There it is. You know what? I was actually trying to think of him.
Yeah,
And,
Luxord. He's a gambler.
I went
His
to
weapon is cards.
I went to Syx. I didn't even do. Why is Syx's weapon?
He has spears.
Syx? No,
Yeah.
that's Zaldin.
No, they're different. It's like one. It's like a spear with a bat on the end, and he goes berserk with the moon.
Yeah,
Syx.
I know that. But you would call that a spear?
Yeah, it's like the berserkers, the nobodies berserkers.
Yeah.
You have the same sort of combo with Sykes's bat thing.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I'll go with you on that.
Okay,
Did we say
let's-
what Demix's was?
Let's talk about weapons. The organisation's weapons. So we know Roxas has the Keyblade.
Yep.
Shion has the Keyblade.
Yep.
Demix has a sitar.
Yep.
Which he uses to create water clones.
Dance, water, dance.
Dance, water, dance. Oh, that's nightmare.
Zigbar?
inducing. Zigbar has guns.
Yeah, guns.
Guns.
Yep.
Zaldin, as we've said, has spears.
Yeah. How many is it?
6, I think, or 8.
6 or 8. Yeah, it's one of them.
Who else is there? Luxord has cards.
Cards. Yep. I mean, we did the organisation members from the
We've talked
the
about
castle, yeah.
Castle Oblivion.
And Xemnas.
Xemnas.
Well, we see it in one. The lights.
In one.
The
Yeah,
lightsabers.
essentially lightsabers. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just red beams that come out of his hands.
Yep.
That's it.
Believe that's it.
And he can also produce mini beams as like bullets and shoot them out.
Yeah, which we do find out when he's Ansem in KH1 as well.
Do we?
He does use kind of like beams in that final fight.
Sort of.
We do mention it, but
Yeah.
yeah. So we've gone over the weapons, I believe.
Yep. So, well, we do missions with Roxas. You're basically slowly training how to use the Keyblade, because something we haven't mentioned yet is when a nobody is first born, they don't really have any function or any memories
Yep.
of their past life.
Hmm.
So they're kind of like shells.
That's
And
what
they
they're
have
meant
to
to
like
be. Yeah.
learn to be again.
Yeah.
Which
To them, they think they're emulating emotion as well, don't they? They're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, it's not real.
yeah.
But I think as it progresses, they soon start to learn that it is real. As you mentioned, Axel starts to question it along
Yeah.
with everything else. So we're progressing. Axel and Roxas are growing a bond.
They are. Basically, Axel is taking him under his wing because he doesn't know anything.
I believe he's forced onto him by Syx.
A little bit. Yeah, he's like take him out on missions.
Yeah.
But Axel, to be nice, because Roxas doesn't know anyone and he can't really talk, starts taking him to his special place on the clock tower to share ice cream
In Twilight Town.
as friends in Twilight Town. And he slowly starts to bring Roxas out of his shell.
Yeah.
And he starts to realise that just how kind of messed up Roxas can be. Like, he's counting how many days he's existed and wonders what the point is
Yeah.
of existing.
Or suddenly straight away, this new nobody is questioning things that he shouldn't be questioning. Really, he should be just following.
Yeah, everyone else is just following orders.
Yeah.
But Roxas doesn't want to do that.
The thing is, they can't see like, oh well, none of this is real. But Demix is lazy as shit. Like, he's so lazy, but that is an emotion in itself.
I think he is sort of lazy, but he's more. He's
like,
just weak.
Why do I have to do this? Like, it's like.
To quote a line from Kingdom Hearts 2, I told them they sent the wrong guy for the job.
Yeah. So he's clearly showing like emotion there. How they don't pick up on any of it as they're going is.
Well, having a personality, something comes from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. So it's clear and obvious that basically the hearts are slowly coming
Especially Zigbar.
throughout all 358.
Zigbar's had a heart the whole time.
Oh,
we'll kind of get into that. It might not be his, but
wait until later on, and we can actually go into him.
Yeah.
And oh my god, that's when my mind will just not be able to follow our podcast anymore.
Yeah.
To be honest. So yeah, we're going through. We do go with each individual one minus Semnus on missions.
Yeah.
You go with Zigbar, you go with Zaldin, you go with them all.
Basically, you get to meet each member and learn a little bit about them.
The worlds are Twilight Town,
Agrabah,
oh god, Alice,
Wonderland.
yeah, Wonderland, Peter Pan,
Beast Castle,
Halloween Town. I think that's it. I don't think there were many worlds in there, but it was just consistent missions of like, kill these Heartless, go to this position,
and then
scout.
Each mission would give you bonus objectives. So if you collect all the chests or whatever, you'd get a bonus thing at the end. Or
it's all for leveling and getting better abilities and
to
items.
get certain keyblades, you would have to have your panels laid out in a certain way.
Yeah.
And you could unlock things like dual wielding, or you could unlock an umbrella instead of a keyblade.
As we said, we're not very familiar with this one, to be honest. I feel like I'm more familiar with Recoded because I actually finished that game.
Yeah, I finished. I got to the very end, and my DS is a bit funny at the moment.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that.
To work.
And so, so we start to learn more about Shion as well. In that she doesn't understand.
She doesn't ever talk at the beginning. She was worse than Roxas.
No, she has a hood over her face as well.
Yeah, she'll never take her hood down until Roxas and Axel take it upon themselves to try and make her feel welcome.
Yep.
Invite her to their special place.
Yeah.
And share ice cream. Sea salt ice cream, I may mention.
Yeah, an interesting choice.
Quite an important plot point, actually.
It does become one,
becomes one, yeah.
And if you don't ever remember it, shame on you because you're just not paying attention.
Yeah.
Got it memorized.
Keep in mind, sea salt ice cream. It's blue. It's sweet yet salty.
Ooh. Ooh, lovely. And I believe they actually got to try it at the most recent fan event, didn't they?
They did get given.
Yeah, people who went there and were invited by Square.
Fun fact, let me just plug. Nomura got the idea for sea salt ice cream.
Yep.
Well, he didn't even get the idea. He tried it at a Disney World in Japan and enjoyed it so much he put it in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even realise that was like a normal flavour.
It's not. It's like the only place you can get it without making it yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fair enough. And you know what? I'm glad it was in there.
It doesn't come the same.
Oh,
it doesn't come on a stick. It comes in a clamshell wafer. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, I'm glad you plugged that in there.
Yeah, there you go. Now you know.
Only dragging out this podcast even more than
another thing I forgot to say about about Chain of Memories.
Go on.
The first Kingdom Hearts game to include multiplayer PvP.
Yeah, you told me this just before we came to record, and I never knew that. I always thought it was 358.
I'm gonna have to shout out Cynical again for this one. I think it was Cynical.
Yeah.
Was it Cynical? Yeah, it was. Yeah. In his latest video.
Yeah.
He talked about the different PvP and multiplayer aspects because Nomura wants Kingdom Hearts 3 to have multiplayer. So he was talking about how it's been implemented before with the Mirage Arena, with Chain of Memories being the first one where one person was anti-Sora, one was normal Sora. You both had decks, and you would just fight each other and try and break each other's cards.
Really?
So it would be the same battle system.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't be used wirelessly or anything. You needed the link cables for the original Game Boy Advance, like trading Pokemon sort of thing. There were more. I'm sure there was more. There was obviously you had Rumble Racing, PvP, and co-op on Mirage Arena on Birth by Sleep.
358.
358 had 4-player co-op for missions, and you could play as any of the organisation members you unlocked.
The only time you can play
also, you could play as Sora Riku as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, and there was someone else.
Wait, which Riku? Because if it's KH1 Riku, I don't give a fuck. But if it's KH2 Riku...
It was probably KH1 Riku.
Oh.
I'm not sure though, because he is KH2 Riku in the story.
Yeah, I know. Which we've gone so far off of the beaten track at this point.
I know, but you know these fun little facts.
So we get the trio. We get Shion, Axel, and Roxas. They all start to grow a bond.
They do.
They start getting very close. They're always like,
friends.
Let's go to the secret spot, or like let's do missions together. And I believe at one point, Shion has to try and wield the Keyblade, but she can't seem to get it to manifest.
Yeah,
so Roxas just gives it to her.
Shion has a problem where she can no longer use the Keyblade.
Yeah.
So she has to avoid getting took out by the organisation for being useless.
Yeah.
Her and Roxas have to do all their missions together, and Roxas has to kill twice as many Heartless.
Yeah.
To make it look like Shion was doing her job.
You got that far then in the game.
That happens in the cutscene, doesn't it?
Oh, does it?
I think so.
Oh, fair enough.
And well,
see, this is where we're going to struggle here because there's so many little bits.
I know what to say about this part.
Go on.
So Axel's trying to force her to like get it to manifest.
Yeah.
Until eventually, Roxas passes out?
Yeah, Roxas goes into a coma for at least like 30 days or something.
This is where we find out the problem for Shion.
Yeah.
She couldn't manifest the Keyblade because Roxas was too powerful.
Yeah.
And the more powerful Roxas grows, the weaker Shion grows.
Yeah, the weaker she gets. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's not really growing, is she?
She's not growing weakness. You
you can grow weak. But moving forward. So Roxas falls into a coma, and Shion manages to summon the Keyblade again from that.
Yeah,
and she starts bringing him shells from every mission.
Yeah, there's sort of thing.
I really hope we're not mixing up Shion with Roxas, because I feel like we are.
No, Roxas does do it for her as well at some point in the story. They both do it for each other. Like something to do with shells and all this nonsense. But
yeah,
I call it nonsense only because I don't really link with those characters more than I do with, say, KHRE, Sora, and Riku.
Yeah. Or the Birth by Sleep trio.
Oh, yeah, the Birth by Sleep trio as well. And I think that's more because we never played it, to be honest. If the gameplay was much better and more improved, I would definitely play that game.
Yeah.
I think my problem with it is you hit Heartless. It doesn't stun. It doesn't do anything. It just sort of, at any point, can just backhand you and you're gone. And there's a couple of bosses in there that people say are the biggest bitches of them all.
I've heard that some of the hardest bosses of the entire series are in that game.
Yeah, exactly.
In this one mission, I've heard.
And I don't think it's
horror
worth
stories.
It. I don't think it's worth my time or really effort. When I
know a lot of people do say it's enjoyable if you get into it, but
I got 200 days in. So.
I've tried a couple of times. Recoded, they fixed
a lot of problems with the gameplay.
That game played like KH1.
Yeah,
I was very happy with it. It was very good for a handheld title.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, we seashell by the seashore, and and we get to a point now where Roxas is awake.
Yeah,
and suddenly Shion, I believe she can still use the Keyblade. So I believe that this means she's a bit more powerful now. Like, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's like Roxas going into his coma gave her
enough time with
a bit of power back. Like, the reason he went into a coma is because she was taking power from him.
Yeah.
So essentially, those two have like a power share. They're kind of like powers going between them.
Like half and half, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not long after that point, I think, we find out that Shion was created by the organisation.
Specifically Vexen?
Probably Vexen.
Because he would have been a scientist, wouldn't he?
Yeah. She was created by the organisation to possibly replace Roxas if he failed in his mission.
Yeah.
To get them enough hearts.
They were desperate for the Keyblade at the time.
Yeah. So those two characters are kind of there as fail-safes for each other.
Yep.
Whoever fails or isn't good enough at their job,
Yep.
the other person gets to live, basically. Yeah.
We don't mess about in this organisation.
No.
I don't think they would have killed Roxas, to be honest. They clearly knew he was the stronger one.
I don't know, because...
He does collapse, yeah, but I feel like that's just because Shion was around. And tinkering with that type of power can cause side effects.
Because of how Shion was created, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
The weird thing with Shion is, depending on who looks at her, depends on who she looks like.
Yes, yeah.
She has her own look, which is similar to KHRE, but black hair.
Black hair, yeah. I think it's a bit longer, actually. And
it is a little longer than
suede
KHRE's
a bit more,
KH1 hair. Yeah. If Roxas looks at her later on, after because she was created from Sora's heart.
I thought Shion was created from the memories of KHRE.
Pretty sure.
I'm fairly certain that's what Naminé says to her later on in the story.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I swear, because if you remember, Naminé takes the memories from KHRE in the chain of memories, and what that happens is, I assume, after everyone's dead in the organisation, although that wouldn't really make much sense, actually, because as we said, these games overlap.
Because Shion, her whole purpose for Naminé is that she needs to return to Sora.
Yeah,
that's why she
But that's
needs
also
Roxas
to restore
kill
the memories of KHRE. If you think about it, that's why she kind of looks like her as well, especially when Roxas looks at her. But then when Axel looks at her, she's only got her hood up. I don't think Axel's ever seen her face.
I think he did in the middle when she was her own person.
Oh yeah, and then eventually
it was only later on when Roxas started to see her as Sora.
Yeah,
so she would have Sora's Kingdom Hearts 1 face.
Yeah,
and hair.
She's like, "Look at me, Roxas."
But the interesting thing is when Xigbar looks at her.
Yeah,
he sees a new character who we have not seen yet.
Yes,
Ventus.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
he sees Ventus.
What's the line he says? He says something like, "As if I'd see you here," or something like that.
He says something. I can't remember what it was, but it is.
It's a massive hint towards
showing you that Xigbar's met this person before.
It's like, or you always giving me that same look, or something like that.
That sounds familiar.
Every time.
So, yeah, Xigbar sees Ventus. Ventus is a character from Birth by Sleep. We will get to that. But he looks identical
to Roxas.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you've played all the games and you're a big fan, you can tell the difference facially.
Yeah, you can.
They're very slightly
even hair,
different.
You can tell a little bit.
It is a little different.
There are little differences. I just think it's an updated model when it comes to Ventus, to be honest.
But I don't think there's an exact reasoning for why they look the same.
There is. I'll go into it in Birth by Sleep.
I know why.
Yeah,
I know that, but don't you have to work it out from what they give you? I don't think it's ever directly said this is why.
No, they don't. I think they were just wanting to leave that up for interpretation.
Yeah, but it's pretty obvious.
It is obvious, yes. And
if you understand the whole nobody and other things that happen, but we'll get to that in another video.
Obviously, there's someone out there who could probably explain Shion a lot better than me and you could. I mean,
yeah, but we're not very well versed.
She's a stamp in the story where when someone says, "Oh, so who's Shion?" I'll go, "Well, I'm not even too sure." She was created to basically give him hearts, but it's like somewhere along the line, it all changed, and eventually they needed her to be returned to Sora.
So what happens is Shion realizes that being in the organization is putting Roxas at risk.
Yep.
Of losing all of his powers. Or / potentially dying.
Doesn't it reverse at this point? I think when Roxas goes into the coma, the powers reverse then. Roxas becomes weaker as Shion grows stronger.
Shion starts to take all the power.
Yeah.
Hence why she starts to resemble Sora.
Yeah.
Because she's getting more and more of Sora's power.
Yeah.
So Shion takes it upon herself to run away.
Yeah.
From the organisation because she doesn't want to hurt Roxas anymore.
And she runs away actually because she gets into a battle
with Mr. Riku.
Mr. Riku, indeed.
Mr. Riku.
Sexy Riku at this point.
Riku with his blindfold.
Long hair.
The reason he wears this blindfold is to hold in Ansem.
Yeah, it's something to do with
to keep the darkness locked in his heart.
If you can't see it, it's not there. That's like sort of the memo that he goes for with that, I think. I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I don't know. But basically, if he's got his blindfold on, the darkness is in check.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Could we be fair to say it's a coping mechanism?
It could be.
Yeah, it's something like to help the mind at ease, and it just doesn't ever come into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, she loses to Riku, although in the organisation
twice, I think. Did they fight twice?
No, they fought.
She meets him again on Destiny Islands.
That's the first time. They fight on Destiny Islands, I think.
No, they fight on a bridge.
Do they?
Sort of a bridge.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
stone.
it's in Beauty and the Beast they fight,
That's
isn't
it. That's
Yep.
what it is, yeah.
Yeah,
Beast
they
Castle.
fight on Beauty and the
They
Beast.
fight there.
Riku's all like...
He tells her what she needs to do. She needs to
Yeah.
return to Sora so that he can wake up.
Yeah.
And it's important Sora wakes up because his heart is the heart that connects all hearts.
Yep.
Have we ever mentioned that?
Yeah, we mentioned it like
Sora is the
5, 6
key-
times just this
yeah.
podcast, to be honest.
Yeah, Sora's the key to everything. Which is weird.
Literally everything.
Everything. Everyone is connected to Sora.
The light that binds the darkness. I'm fucking know. I'm just
That
sort
just
of...
sounds like a Lord of the Rings reference.
Yeah, it is a Lord of the Rings
A
reference.
ring to find them all, and in the darkness bind them.
Yes, Gandalf, thank you. So yeah, Riku's just basically trying to get Sora back at this point.
Yeah.
He's
That's why he didn't sleep. He's making sure everything goes smoothly for... Well, at this point, he's working for Diz.
Yes, Diz and Nominee.
Yeah, and Diz is trying to help get everything in place for Sora to wake up.
But Diz is doing it for his own methods. He wants Sora back so he can wipe out the organisation, not because he wants Sora
He
back.
wants
because
to
he
get
likes
his own
him.
back with at Xemnas.
Yeah.
Xehanort.
And he knows that Sora is his only option, really.
He does, but at the same time, he's not just trying to get revenge. He is trying to make up for his mistakes. He's trying to repent for his sins, but he doesn't think that anything he does will ever make up for
I
it.
think he thinks revenge will repent for it, and that's why he brings Sora back. And then
Possibly.
obviously there's scenes and lines in KH2 that
Yeah,
involve Diz, which we'll get to. And we say that a lot, you know.
Yeah,
And,
because the
it's
story,
just-
stories are it's like a yo-yo.
So easy to get lost in it.
Yeah,
To go from like 1 to 2 or 1 to 358,
yeah.
Birth by Sleep to 0.2 or even
Because
even
we're doing
3D.
them release order and chronologically.
Oh, we're gonna
We
get
would not
confused.
begin with 1 if we were trying to say it in a coherent way.
Yeah.
So we've got actual order of
story.
of story. So we begin with Chi, Kingdom Hearts Chi,
Yeah.
which was originally a Japanese PC release.
Yep.
That's set 1,000 years, I believe, before Kingdom Hearts 1.
It's a long time before
I think
one.
it's 1,000 years.
Could
Or
be
is it
100.
1,000 years before Birth by Sleep? I don't know.
Either one.
But after that, we have Kingdom Hearts Chi back cover,
Yeah.
which is the movie as part of Kingdom Hearts 2.8,
Mm-hmm.
final chapter prologue.
Yep.
Then comes, well, you'd consider Union Cross after that, but that's ongoing. So
I think Union Cross is the same. It's the
I
same
think they
story.
rebranded it, yeah, but it counts as its own thing.
Oh, fair enough.
So we've got Union Cross. I think it does anyway.
Different viewpoints.
After
I'd say.
this, Birth by Sleep, which is set 10 years before Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yep.
That is a completely new trio, kind of explaining a lot about the darkness, where it came from, all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Kingdom Hearts 1,
Mm-hmm.
where we are now.
Yep.
Chain of Memories and 358 over 2 days.
Yep.
Then Kingdom Hearts 2, I
Yep.
think. Yeah.
Yep.
Then Kingdom Hearts
We've
Recoded.
missed 0.2.
0.2 chronologically. We don't know how long she was
Before
in the
1.
darkness at this point.
It's before 1.
It's during 1. Because at the end is the ending of 1.
Yeah, but still technically. Oh, yeah, so yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
during 1. Yeah,
Okay,
it's during
so
1.
0.2 and 1 are the same. And then, yeah, where were we? So we had Recoded. At the end of Recoded is the letter which leads on to Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Dot Distance, yep.
And that is the latest point in the story, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's definitely the last thing that's happened now. It's easy
Apart
to...
from the secret movie at the end of 0.2. Which
Yeah,
directly leads into Kingdom Hearts 3.
exactly. So we've gone over that.
So that's that. So Shion runs away, fights Riku.
Going back to
Going
the,
back.
to
We're
the
going to be
story.
on track now because this is running quite long.
Yeah, edit it. We might cut off a little bit, but yeah.
So she fights Riku, loses.
Loses,
He
yeah.
tries to describe his reasoning as to why he's trying to force her to go to Diz and do the right thing.
Yeah.
Go back to Sora. But I'm not sure who he sees. I don't think we ever find out. But he lifts his
Yeah, he does, doesn't
blindfold
he? Yeah.
and looks shocked.
I think he sees KHRE.
Does he see Kara?
I think he does. Because Nominate, I'm telling you right now, Nominate does say that inside Shion is KHRE. Half of KHRE is inside, the memories of her are in Shion, as well as Roxas.
Well, we haven't got to the... Well, it'll be Kingdom Hearts next episode that we'll be talking more about Nominee.
Yeah, exactly.
And her origins.
But she does actually say that to Shion when they finally meet.
Yeah.
And I believe... But they also need Shion to convince Roxas to do the same thing.
So Shion Oh no, Riku doesn't actually. He's not trying to take her to Diz, is he? He's trying to take her to Namine.
Yeah.
Trying to take Shion to
Because she's
Namine.
the only one that can restore Sora back
Yeah, yeah.
to what he was.
So Shion goes back to the castle, doesn't she? Back to the world never was.
Yeah, because we have to make clear as well.
Axel keeps going and dragging her back.
Yeah.
There is a point she goes to go to Namine.
Yeah.
And Axel fights her,
stops her,
knocks
yeah.
her out, and kind of carries her back.
It's
to
really
Castlevania.
sad for Axel, sorry, because
Yeah, he's been given the job to eliminate her.
but
If he can't keep her in check.
if he can't keep her in check, it's basically asking to kill his best friend.
Yeah, and he's really sad about it.
Yeah.
He's
do
saying
really
to her, "Why
start
are you
to
doing this
feel-
to me?" Pretty much. Please stop running off. I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah. It also feels like he can't not follow the orders. I think he feels there's still a bit of loyalty to Sykes.
He does slightly. He doesn't.
Doesn't want to break that friendship, although that friendship breaks during 358 as well.
That's long gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort
And
of
by this point,
as he slowly becomes friends with Roxas, his friendship with Sykes sort of just
fizzles out.
dissipates. Yeah, it just goes, and he always drags Shion back until eventually she does finally leave.
She does. She finally does go to Namine
Yeah,
to have a chat. Just kind of
just
find out
talking.
what's going on.
And what we learn is that if Shion does decide to go back to Sora and finally leave,
It will heal Roxas,
it-
for one. So Namine tells Shion that
Yep.
she needs to go back to Sora to restore his memories so that he can basically fight the darkness, save the world, be a Superman.
a Superman.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Um,
But I also think she says to Shion that she can't do without Roxas either. They need both of them.
yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, Roxas is sort of becoming his own person at this
He
point
is,
as
yeah.
well. And he wants his friends back. He just wants to be with his friends,
Yeah.
really. Eat sea salt ice cream and be on the tower with them.
Mm.
And then eventually, going down the line, Roxas fights Shion. Well, Shion forces him to fight, really.
Shion forces him. This is where he finally sees Shion for the first time as Sora.
Yeah.
She pulls the hood down. It's like, Roxas, who do you see?
Yeah. It's just,
And
he doesn't see Shion's original face.
and then forces him. She says one of us has to lose.
Yeah.
And so they fight.
Okay.
Yeah. It's quite a sad moment.
It's one of the best songs in this soundtrack.
Yeah.
Vector to the Heavens.
Yeah, Vector
Yeah.
to the Heavens. It's a brilliant song. Great fight. Emotional part of the story.
I mean, can we call it a great fight when we've never done it ourselves? Or are we going off the movie?
Hey, the movie added in the fight scene.
Yeah, I cannot believe how big the download file for that was. It was quite huge, to be honest.
was.
Happy they added it in, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, going off the movie, yeah, it's a great fight. I've never fought the fight personally. I don't think you
No,
have either.
No.
But
But Roxas wins. Spoilers.
he does win, yeah. I mean, whoever you're playing as is going to win, basically.
Yeah. And so she slowly disappears. There's a problem with this, though.
Mm-hmm.
Her not being real to begin with and being artificial. That's
Yep.
the word I'm looking for. All of the memories to do with her fade from everyone else's hearts.
Yeah, including
Because her-
Roxas,
including
Axel.
Roxas. So being her means that he'll forget about her forever.
And he does actually start to forget her even
Well,
post-fight. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
she's dying, essentially.
Yeah.
And then she's just saying goodbye, really. And he's like, who are you? Until finally he does remember her at one last moment of like, Shion, how could I forget?
He's like, "How did I do this to you?
Yeah, he
Who
didn't-
will I have ice cream with?"
Yeah,
Not very nice to
Oh,
Axel.
what a-
I mean, you know, Axel was the one who introduced this tradition, but forget about him for a minute.
who will I have ice cream with? To be fair, he did watch his best friend die.
It is.
Possible love interest if they had carried on the story, would you say?
Which is kind of weird considering they're both the same person, but you know, whatever they do
Well,
behind closed doors.
Oh,
is
come
their
on, man. They're
business.
nobodies at this point. Like, and that's not me being mean to them. They are quite literally nobodies.
Yeah, they're their own thing.
Do nobodies have jiggly bits?
Have what?
You know, the good old genitalia, you know?
I'm gonna presume they do
Okay.
because they're still.
Are we
people.
diving down a rabbit hole we can't come back up, or if we go in it?
let's just stay away from that.
Okay, cool. Because I think I saw the Cheshire Cat down here and I'm not liking it.
Just deviant art. That's all I'm gonna say.
Deviant now. Which is where I got the font for the thumbnail, funnily enough.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so enjoy that one. Yeah, so Shion's gone.
Shion's gone.
No one really remembers her, to be
No
honest.
one.
Other than Roxas, he feels like something's wrong.
Yeah, he's missing something. And because of that, he decides to leave the organisation himself. He needs answers. So he needs to find Naminé.
Yeah.
Which is what he tries to do. He's on the run from the organisation, and Riku meets him.
Yeah.
In the world that never was.
Yeah. Well, first he passes Axel. It's kind of like their final goodbye.
Axel and Roxas have their moment together.
Yeah, he's like saying
it's quite sad for Axel.
He's saying how no one will miss him. Well, this is Roxas who's saying that, but Axel actually says
that's not true. I would.
Yeah. And
it's quite emotional. He's just lost one of his best friends.
Although he doesn't know it.
He does. No, but I feel
to us, the person watching, yeah, we're emotional. But I think to Axel,
I feel like Axel will feel like something's missing, like Roxas did.
I know a lot of people want Shion to return.
It's gonna happen
later.
It's gonna happen.
I hope so. I want them three back together at least one more time.
They have to bring back all three of all the trios, the Twilight Trio, the
Destiny Trio,
and I don't know what the other ones are even called.
The Birthright Suit Trio.
Is that what they're called?
No, I don't know what they're called.
Well,
would you call them
Land of Departure Trio? Are they
the Departure Trio? Would you call it that?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Erica's Trio? I don't. I really don't know.
Let's just leave it because I want to make jokes that I can't make till the Birth by Sleep episode. All right, moving forward.
Okay, so we've
so Roxas has left Axel. They've had their goodbye.
Yeah, and he fights.
It's emotional for Axel.
He fights Riku at this point.
Riku is here with his blindfold, and Roxas wins.
He wins the first fight. So this is the part where the secret movie in 1 comes into play, because the whole thing happens again. Neo shadows come out of the floor.
Yeah,
they will fight them.
They fight the shadows together.
Yeah, it's just so they have the battleground to themselves. Yep. Riku does fight with Oblivion and Roxas with Oathkeeper.
Yep.
Till eventually, I think he disarms Riku and then hits him.
I believe so.
But it's like a protect spell when he hits him. It's not like he slashes him. I think that's more Disney. You know, I think if this was a square game, you would have got him a little bit across the chest.
And then there's the famous line.
Oh, when Riku calls him out, essentially.
Riku says, "Why? Why do you have the Keyblade?
Shut up!" And then
that's Roxas's line.
He backhands him, essentially.
So Riku decides there's only one way.
Well, no, that's not the line I was on about. The line I was about was like, "Come on, Sora, you can do better than that."
That's the end of KH1.
Hmm?
Isn't that in the KH1?
No, he says it to Roxas.
Oh, yeah.
And then
come on, Sora, you can do better than that. It's like, get real. Look which one of us is winning.
Yeah, which proves to Riku that is his nobody.
It's his nobody, yeah. Because Sora's heart is still sort of inside him. Like it's his heart growing back.
Memories of KHRE and all that, yeah.
So, yeah, Riku realises that there's no way he's going to win unless he succumbs to the darkness.
Embraces it, yeah.
Problem with that being he doesn't know if he can turn back.
Yeah, because when he turns into the form of Ansem,
but retains himself, so he can use Ansem's power because he's beaten Ansem in Castle Oblivion.
Yep.
But his physical appearance becomes that of Ansem in an organisation coat.
And he uses the
Guardian,
the Guardian from KH1, but we never see it again after that. He never uses the Guardian again.
He uses it to grab Roxas and take him to
just squeeze the breath out of him. Really.
Yeah. Takes Roxas to Diz, who then... Does he create a data version of Roxas? He creates
a data version of Twilight Town, sends Roxas into that data.
But does he send actual Roxas?
He sends the actual Roxas in there.
Then, what I don't get is, from the latest KH3 trailer, where they talk about data Roxas, Diz...
I think the data might still be there.
Taylor and Olette.
Unless they digitized his whole body.
They could have done.
And just wiped it out, and then that's what's left there. But obviously we're going way ahead of ourselves. But if anything, but you do actually touch that beam in KH2 as well.
Yeah, and Sora goes in.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure. There must be a way out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it could have just saved. It could be his actual physical body going in that the computer automatically saves a data version of his heart.
Yeah. I think that might be it, to be honest. And then it starts on the 6 days. That is so
the beginning
famous.
Of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, for Kingdom Hearts 2.
So yeah, the end of 358 directly leads into Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, so which was so weird they came out after.
Yeah.
DS exclusive title 358. Yeah.
So I think that's those two games, and
in the most long about way possible. But we did get them out.
I mean, to be honest, considering we haven't played Rechain of Memories in a long time.
Well, I did recently, but I skipped the cutscenes because I was more trophy hunting.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a couple of years. And 358, neither of us have ever played all the way to the end. We've both watched the cutscenes a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. I used to know someone who got really far in that game, and I think she said she beat it, but
Well, we have a friend who's
other than
pretty
that,
much maxed it.
oh yeah, and
Steve.
and Steve as well, who has maxed it.
I don't know about
I can't
maxed
see
it, but
I
he
can't
was
see
quite
myself
far.
going back and playing that unless they HD it.
No.
I mean, I would have played it in the remix if they had redone the whole game,
Yeah, me too.
but they just wanted to make a movie out of it, really.
They said that it was too, like, it was further back than the others. I mean, the graphics are terrible.
Oh yeah,
They're very pixely. They'd have had
even
to have
Recoded
rebuilt.
was a bit better than that.
Yeah, well, that was later on, but they would have had
Yeah.
to have rebuilt the game from the ground up, and they said there was too much work. They said it was hard enough getting KH1 to run properly
Yeah,
in 1.5.
yeah, fair enough. All right, well, I think that wraps up then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
I think we're over it now.
Yeah. Okay, so that concludes.
Oh, so, hold on, just to
No?
recap then. 358. Riku is now Ansem looking.
Riku is answered.
Can use the darkness to his full potential, really, and Roxas is now in a data world where they're extracting the memory
The memories of Sora,
and
because
KHRE
they're
and
trying
all
to
that.
get Sora to wake up.
Yep.
They've done this
Nominee-
to hide Roxas from the organisation, so they
Yeah.
can't find him while they do the work they need to do.
Yep.
Riku, something we haven't mentioned, but this kind of happens within Kingdom Hearts 2, but is now going by the name Ansem.
Yeah, he doesn't call himself Riku anymore.
No.
I mean,
And he's working with Diz still.
you have no reason to once you look like him, really.
And Sora is still asleep.
Sora, Donald, and Goofy are still asleep, yep. And I believe, we're finally done with this episode.
Yep.
And we can finally get onto something so good.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh my god, thank God.
Next episode will, in my personal opinion, and I believe Ryan would agree, one of the best stories moments is Kingdom Hearts 2, just in its entirety.
In its entirety.
Yeah.
If I had to pick out one flaw, would be the going through the world a second time.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Atlantica.
It's optional.
Swim this way, we'll dance and
It's
we'll play.
optional in this game, and it's not story related. Something I found out recently is that the Pride Lands are completely optional in
Yes,
Kingdom Hearts
I
2.
knew about that, yeah.
I did not know that.
Fine. We'll get to it.
We will. But yeah, okay, so that wraps up this episode. Next time we're moving on to Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yep, thank God.
And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed.
Yeah.
And peace out.
Bye-bye.